welcome everyone. I want to welcome everyone to the family tree. Give yourselves a hand for stepping on in. All
That's what's
right.
up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right. All right. Give yourselves a hand. And I hope everyone is doing well. I want to welcome you to the time when we can ask any question you want to. So if you are someone that is joining us for the very first time, I want you to give a well handshake
Give
and
us a big
clap.
hand. That's what's up.
And that's
Yes,
for our
yes,
buddy
yes, yes.
Bill 1L Morgan, my
Yeah, yeah,
co-host.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, buddy.
co-hostess with the mostest.
Well, hallelujah.
and
Oh
Big
boy,
B. And Big B, what's going on in the world, man? A lot's
man,
going on, man. You
man, a
you
whole lot
got
of
a lot
everything.
going on in the world. Sometimes,
Are you still sharing your screen on the Dr. Ball?
yes, I am still
Okay,
stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. How about
okay.
that?
Because they're getting ready to say, I lost you there for a second. I can't be losing about me.
All right. Do you
Got to
see me
keep you right
now?
here. There we go.
You
There we
see me
go.
now? All
Yep, we
right,
got
got
everybody.
you.
Got everybody now.
All right. So
Yes, sir. Yes,
everyone,
sir.
and Big
Woo.
B, what's going on in the world right now is, we like to start off by, going into our COVID numbers. But if you are listening or coming in for the very first time and joining us, we welcome you. But if you have a question or concern, just drop it down in the chat box.
That's
We'll
right.
try to
That's
get to
right.
you. A lot of times if you have a question, we can't get everybody, but we try the best we can.
Yes.
Because there's so much going on this side. And if you are someone, you can go down to the reactions section of the bottom of your page, click
Yes.
on where it says little hand, raise your hand, and then we'll try to get to you. If you are on the phone, we can actually just let us know, and
Like this, guys. See my hand go up there?
yep, yep.
See, that's what you want.
and we can see if we can get you in and answer your question if you're on the line. Also, drop a chat box. Try to drop it into Big B's chat if you can. Usually, if we can, it's so many questions that go past.
Yes. Yes.
If you personalize your message right to Bill Morgan, you can probably get your question directly to him. All right.
Right. Right.
All right, Big
Exactly.
B, tell us what's going on, man.
Oh
What's going
man,
on in this world?
you don't even want to know because if you want to know, you hide because it's a mess out here. Yeah, you know what? It's only a mess because for other folk, you see, everybody that comes to the tree has had what good mental stuff going on, brother. Because you know what, we've been studying all of these things for all of these months and actually for years now, which gives us a little bit, I guess, an upper hand, which makes us feel a lot better. And I just like to let everyone know, of course, we're always in our favorite site when I bring you all the numbers for each week, right? And that website is NCOV. That's ncove2019.live. Okay. That's ncove2019.live. The ncov2019.live. And I'm able to bring you all the stuff that's going around the world. So here are the quick facts for the world COVID-19 stats for this week and as of 11 minutes ago. Total confirmed cases 172,382,953. Okay. Total critical cases 90,171 for total critical cases. Total deceased 3,700,884. Total active cases, folks, 18,645,577. Total recovered. Give me the drum roll, Dr. P. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, I love it. I love his drum roll. 153,500,795, guys. So
Woo!
that's what's
Woo!
up. You know what? That's what's
Wow.
up.
It's a
Can you
lot of folks,
imagine?
man.
Hey,
It's a
listen,
lot of
that what we
folks.
say, guys, that's mental health time. This
Yes,
helps
it
us all
is.
feel really, really, very, very good. You know?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that's where we can take a mental check today. How's everybody
Yes.
feeling with what's going on? How are you handling now that, Philadelphia is officially open now? Is this thing, do you feel safe? Do you feel like you can go around and actually take off the mask? And when you're sitting down and having something to eat, do you feel comfortable around there with other people with their masks off? Is everybody telling the truth?
Wow. That's the big question. That's the big one right there.
Yeah. So we want to go into that and start asking questions. And remember, this is the family tree. No question is a dumb question. Only bad question or dumb question is the one you didn't ask.
That's
So
exactly
we
right.
try to make sure that you're on point. So you may be asking a question that somebody else may not want to ask. So never be fearful. We try to get the answers. If we can't get it, we'll find some way to get it for you. Got it? All right, I'm going to start off, and we're going to go right on in. Let's see, who do we have at the top, and let's hear from some folks we have never heard
That's
from
exactly
before.
right.
How about that? We want to make sure we give everyone a chance and make sure that we going to grab some. I'm just going to do a potluck today. How about
Oh,
that?
oh, look out
I'm
now.
on a
Look out.
potluck
Look out.
today. I'm going to go in. We got, is that Sheila Johnson? Sheila, where's
Yeah.
Sheila?
How are you this
Hey
evening?
Sheila, how you
Hello.
doing?
All right. I want to know if you can get some advice on helping with a hernia.
Hernia. Excellent, excellent question. Type of hernia that you have. Is
Well,
that
it's not
hiatal?
for me, but it's for somebody else. I was just trying to get some information for them.
Sure,
So
sure.
I
Do you
don't know
know?
what type they have. I didn't even know it was a different type.
Okay, for those who don't know what a hernia is, as a hernia is actually a rupture in the skin, where
Okay.
basically the intestines are now poking through, and it's a break in the skin. So you can have what's called a hiatal hernia, which is upper. You know, it may be like it may look like a lump coming out of their stomach or in
Mhm,
their intestine part, or
mhm,
it can be an inguinal, which is down in the groin area. Inguinal, which is right in the area where you have a nose down in that area. So that for men happens a lot. You know, men
Mm-hmm.
are may have it. It's called a sports hernia with some men. Some have a single side. Some have a double side hernia, where it can actually be on the right or the left side. So basically, the intestines are slipping down like this. So if you're hiatal up here, you
Yes, it
have to.
is.
It's a hiatal.
Yes.
So you have to start to now remember it's pressure that's pushing it like this. It's pressure. So
Okay.
that means you got to watch from certain foods that cause inflammation in the intestines. Number one, write this down. Stay off heavy foods. No heavy foods. What would be heavy foods? Give me some heavy foods. Anybody?
Meat.
Meat? Okay. How about bananas? Did you know bananas is
Yeah.
heavy? Yes,
Uh-uh.
very heavy in the system. Bananas can be very heavy, so no bananas. Anything heavy is going to put more pressure on the intestines. So if there's a little hole somewhere, it's like a small hole that pushes out. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of the hardest injuries to heal because the skin, you have gravity working against you. So every time you lay down, it may go in, okay? And if sometimes you can push it in, but as soon as you get up, it opens up again,
Oh,
pushes right back out. You got it? So take the pressure off of the intestines. Low, more fiber. Usually it's more fiber. Usually the person's not taking a lot of fiber. Number one. So what are some of the fibers? Things like flaxseed, chia seeds, things like any type of hemp seeds. Those are all the seeds that you can add to dietary in the morning for good roughage. More salads. Like I said, no heavy foods. You got to reduce the inflammation. Things like aloe vera gel are good for that also. Not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease. It's food for the soul, family.
the
We have
aloe
to do.
gel how? Apply it on the skin, drink it, and turn on
Well,
the
you would
skin.
drink that. That's right. You
Okay.
would take it the gel. If you take the gel, helps with reducing inflammation on the pushing. Okay, so now that you don't have the pushing and you're reducing the inflammation, now we have to sort of repair that outside or the tear that happens. Now the upper one is a little bit different, of course, than the one that's in the lower. For men, it tends to be a problem. Men tend to have these rings, and these rings are right at the base in that inguinal between the leg area, right around just above the belly button, just above the belly button on the right and left side.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we are born as boys, males, our testes are up in the stomach area. And
Mhm.
when we are born, they drop down through these holes, got it? And drop into the sac, which is actually, of course, the scrotum, right? So what happens is they start to close. And when they close, that's supposed to be permanent. But as we are working through the, life as it may have it,
Mhm.
if you start to do things like straining, like picking up heavy things, or you may be in sports, or you may be in a job that uses like heavy lifting or backing or not using your legs, you can cause a stress in the rings.
Mhm.
Even like lifting weights. When you stress those rings now the intestines falls down in there. That's called an inguinal hernia. Got it?
Okay.
Now, some of the
Figure that.
ways that they've repaired this, I mean, it happens also with women, same way, it falls down. Another ways that you can repair that, you have to repair the tissue in that lining.
Mhm.
So some of the things that we do, comfrey would be one. Comfrey, Comfrey, comfrey.
Mm-hmm.
Comfrey is good for skin. That's also for magnetism, which actually brings the density back to the skin. So comfrey, Comfrey.
Are you saying use
Sometimes
it as a poultice or a tea?
you can take it as a tea. Okay, that's also as a tea, but you can use it as a poultice also and apply it to the area
Mhm.
of the hernia.
Okay.
Okay, this is external. And actually, also remember, you have to take the stress off of it, so you got to relax.
Mhm.
The other way you can do that is called a sitz bath.
Mm-hmm.
A
Okay.
sitz bath.
Familiar.
Okay, some people will take a sitz bath based on the type of hernia. Some of the hernias are different types. There may be what's called a sitz bath. Anybody know what a sitz bath is?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
What is a sitz bath? Anybody
I
want to
don't
answer
even
that one?
tell you what it is.
I mean,
It's
I
it's a
did.
a
I
a,
did.
bowl
you
or
you
pan.
sit in
I
it.
did say sitz bath.
Right.
A bowl or pan that you sit in.
Something you sit over
S
and
I
You,
T.
It's a
Somebody
special.
said you
Isn't
sit
it
on
a
sit
witch
on
She
you
said.
sit
hazel?
on a
Somebody
tire.
said, "Well, that's an easy one."
Isn't it a
No,
witch hazel?
sit.
something you
So
sit in.
Yes, you would
Okay.
use something of an astringent. Okay,
Yes.
the astringent would be like witch hazel. That's correct. Witch hazel is astringent. That's why witch hazel is still used in when you go into a drugstore. You see witch hazel. People don't even know why witch hazel is in there, but when women give birth, the stretching of when the child is born, the actual vaginal is so big, they actually brings it back in by douching with a sitz bath. That's what it's
Mm-hmm.
for, and that's why they use that. Now, when you start to other ways that you can use this, there is a formula. Everyone should write this one down. For any hernia, you should write this one down. There is a formula, and this formula is called Hawthornia. Haw,
Hawthorne. Okay.
not to be confused with hawthorn berries. Got it? It's called Hawthornia. Hawthornia. It's a formula that's one of the best formulas that we have have knowledge to work with all types of hernias. Okay. Good thing, Sheila. I'm glad you're bringing this one up
thank
because
you. I
this is one
appreciate
that
it very much.
happens to a lot of people. A lot of people are having a lot of hernia issues. So when you take this herb, these are astringent herbs that are drawing in, got it? Draws in the intestines so that you can actually start to now give that chance for that to heal. But you got to stay off your feet for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do light things, no jumping around, no, I would not recommend any strenuous exercises like running,
Mm-hmm.
maybe walking, but very light stuff. Got it? Very light stuff.
Thank you so very
All
much.
right, it's called
Appreciate
Hawthornia.
it. Okay.
Matter of fact, it's by a company called Magi. That's what the
And,
company is. I'll see if I can maybe profit this. If you can grab that, maybe you can grab a link on that. Hawthornia by a company called Magi, Magi, just one I. Okay. All right. Good question. Good question. All right. And thank you, Sheila.
thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Who do we have here? We have, is that Cheryl? Cheryl Green? Hello,
Yes.
Cheryl. How are you?
I'm well in yourself and hi to the family tree.
All
Hello,
right.
Cheryl.
Hello. Let's give Cheryl a hand. Yes. Yes.
Yay!
First
Welcome,
time.
welcome, welcome.
Okay. Good. All right.
Dr. Paul, I did the oil pulling with
Mm-hmm.
sesame seed oil.
Mm-hmm.
My mouth felt better, teeth felt better, but my tongue turned green.
Your tongue turned green. Wow. What happened there? What kind of, make sure, what kind of sesame oil do you have?
It was unrefined organic.
Okay. What brand was it, by the way?
I gotta go look. Yeah, go get the
Yeah.
bottle. Yeah, I don't know the brand. I don't know the brand.
Yeah,
So
usually if something like that happens, you're detoxing. Absolutely, that's coming out of you. Yeah,
okay.
anything that's coming out of the system like that, and you see something strange, colors and things, especially the tongue. We do what's called a tongue. Um, it's actually shows you a tongue assessment.
Mhm.
If I can grab, maybe I have one. I can probably pull one up. You can show exactly what the tongue, the ridges, the things, and that you can look at the tongue and it can tell a lot about you. So color does have something to do with that. That usually means something's coming out. You're detoxing.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
Hmm.
right. My husband went to get the oil to let you know. We will be coming in. It won't be until the end of July for an assessment.
Okay, no
Um,
problem. Right. So just keep that in mind. Long as it's unrefined, you're good to go.
okay.
All right.
All
That's
right.
good.
Thank you.
All right. Thank
All right,
you.
very
All
good,
right.
very good.
Okay, let's see. Big B, anyone on the
You
chat
know
there?
what? Here's one says, I think I already know this answer, but are dry mushrooms bad for you?
Dry mushrooms,
Yes. Uh-huh.
are they bad for you?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it
the
depends
question.
on what kind of dry mushrooms they are. There's about
Okay.
3,000 variations of a mushroom.
Well, they didn't say
Mm,
that. It was just about dry mushrooms.
yeah, you
They'll,
got to
they'll have
know
to
what.
put that in.
Yeah, you got to know what mushrooms you're grabbing. There's 3,000 variations of the mushroom, and they all become some form. They can be psychotropic, so that
Right.
means they're dealing with the brain. They stimulate brain activity. So
Uh-huh.
that's why we use some of those for some of the best ways of getting your mind right is mushrooms.
Mm.
The one that I really love is one called lion's mane.
Okay. Here that
Lion's
guy's
mane.
lion's mane.
Lion's mane. Lion's mane is excellent for, the ancient magi, and if you ever see the big turban, you ever see the big turbans that the guys used to wear out in the magi used to wear?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they used those for. They were using because they actually were worshiping the mushroom.
Ah,
Look like a big mushroom on their head.
yes, yes, yes. Never knew
People
that.
don't know. That's the true story. That's the
Never
truth.
knew that one.
That's the truth. That's right. That's right.
Okay, okay.
And, form of magi's or Zoroastrianism, some things like that. They actually has the big mushrooms. They were actually using that to represent the 3,000 or more variations of the mushroom,
Mm.
because the cordyceps are some of the most intricate uh, bioorganisms on this planet. They actually do some incredible things when it comes to how they are an intricate part of how the soils and the life itself.
Mm-hmm.
So mushrooms are very, very much needed in our eco culture of the soils. So I would say mushrooms. You should get a little bit if you can. You got to find out which one is. You don't want to be tiptoeing through the tulips, all right?
Well, well.
Because you could get the wrong one, and then you'll be doing backflips, in the
Mm.
park, not knowing what you did.
Real quick, that was my question, but I think they're bad, and I'm gonna throw it away because it says contains sulfite.
No. Where did you get them from?
H Mart.
No, I mean if they've actually been picked, in what kind are they?
I don't know. It's not in English.
Well, that's not good.
That's not good.
And you know what? The only thing on the bag, it just says dried mushrooms contain sulfite.
Well, that's all right. Sulfites are.
Oh, it
that's
is?
not one. That's not what the problem is. The problem is you don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Nor what they're used for. That's why you have to have a definition of what you're taking them for.
Yes.
You have to respect the mushroom because they are respect the mushroom like electricity. They are very powerful.
Well,
I'm just using 3 tonight.
Okay.
Don't use 3.
You don't know what that is.
they are.
I don't. So
Did you
should I
hear what
throw
he
it
said?
away?
You don't know what it is.
Okay,
Denise.
I'm gonna trash it then.
If it's in another language, don't buy it.
It was over where the seaweed was, where the dry seaweed and stuff.
I know
was.
you went to the you went to the Hong Kong market, right? Yeah.
No,
Which one
it
you
was
went to?
it was called H Mart.
Is
It's
that
the
the one off
international market.
Right. Where's that located?
It's in Upper Darby.
Oh,
And,
okay,
and
okay.
they have all kinds of food in there. But
Yeah.
I'm going to trash it since I don't know what it is.
Be careful. Yeah, or you can ask someone back at the market,
I
what is
started
this?
to. I started
Yeah.
to ask them what did this
Yeah.
say, but
Yeah, you don't want to
these.
mess with something that you don't know the language in, because you just don't know. And
Okay.
you don't know what they
I
use.
started to ask somebody. All right. Well, thank
And
you.
they,
Always.
and they can be
Oh, she does.
very powerful. Denise, you take that, you might be singing and dancing.
That's okay. All right.
Say,
Thank you.
Denise,
All
where's she
right.
at? I don't
All
know. She
right.
doing backflips out in the backyard. I don't know what she doing.
So Dr. Paul, I saw her flipping over the hedge back there. I don't know where she went. Come on
Yes.
back, Denise.
See, let me tell you what the power of the mushroom does. It stimulates the brain activity of the higher crown chakra. Okay? Your higher crown chakra, which is, part of your endocrine system that deals with the pineal gland, dealing with the higher crown chakra. That means that stimulates spirituality, opens up the ability for you to see things. They use mushrooms for in cultures, they use mushrooms for getting closer to the Most High God, when you're trying to go into deep prayer and meditation. That's why the lion's mane got its name like that. The lion, symbolic of the Lion of Judah, but also the lion of bravery and, going into the spiritual realm. So it has a lot of, there's a lot of, respect that you got to have for that mushroom. Okay. So be careful with that. Write it down. Go there and find that out. Oh, you know what you could do? Let me tell you what you could do.
Okay.
Check this out. And this is for everybody. If you don't know what something is, you can download an app on your phone.
There you go.
Did y'all know that? Like for example, and this is not only that, but you can actually take a picture of something. Like
Yes.
say for instance, you saw something, like you saw a plant, and you out shopping somewhere, and you saw a plant. You say, "Oh, that is a beautiful plant. What is it? I don't know what that is." Take a picture of it. Got it? You can download this app on Google. All right, and Google has this app on the phone where you
Nice.
have Google Pictures. It has a little button that you hit, and it does this little like this little wine looking thing going over it, and it analyzes the picture and it tells you what it is.
Well, excuse me.
Every plant I went out to the park, and it analyzed every tree, every plant, every weed, every grass, everything you do, you can do it. So go to Google. Got it? Let me see here. Big B, where is it? Google. You can go to Google Photos. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, it's an awesome.
Can you find
it's
the
an
app
awesome
in the
piece.
App Store, Dr. Paul, by chance?
Yeah,
Or the
hold on.
Play
Let me see
Store?
if I can find it. So when you pull the picture up, right? Whatever picture
Mhm.
you pull up, it's this thing with it's actually, let me see what it's called. Yes, it's called Google Lens. That's what it's
Yeah.
called. It's
Okay.
called Google Lens. This is an awesome feature, y'all. I'm telling you. No matter where you are. So what you would do, I would grab the front of that bag, okay?
Okay.
Take a picture of it, download that Google Lens, and see what it says. I'd be very interested to see what that one says.
Okay. I'll let you. I usually do ask people, but I didn't this time.
Yes.
All
Yes,
right. Thank you.
that would be an excellent one, but that's something that everyone can download that. It's an excellent device.
Google Lens. Okay.
Okay.
It's called
Back to
Google
mushrooms.
Lens.
Okay.
All
Google
right.
Lens. It's part of your Google Pictures. If you put Google Photos. When you pull Google Photos up, it's part of that app. And I tell you, it is wonderful. It will identify a majority of everything that you're looking at.
That's
I
nice to
remember
have.
I was walking around a part of my house, and I looked up on my house and I saw this thing sticking up there. I said, "What is that?" I couldn't tell what it was. It would look like a piece of the chimney or something like that. I said, "Well, what is that?" Took a picture of it, Googled it with the Google lens, and it told me exactly what it was.
Now that's
It
nice.
was one of the exact exhaust fans that helped to pull the air off the top of the building. I was like, wow, this is so cool. So you might want to download that, y'all. That's a real good one right there. That's a
Okay.
real good one. All right,
Thank you.
and thank you.
I will
Always some
respect the
good stuff.
mushrooms. Okay.
Respect the mushroom.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, Denise. Thank you. All right, who else do we have here?
There's another question that says, what causes black toes when you're not a diabetic?
Circulation. Absolutely. Anytime when your toes turn black, that's circulation. Or
Okay.
your hands, or you see black anywhere with your extremities, that's circulation. Absolutely. Every
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Got it. Also, you got to look at things like neuropathy. Some lines of neuropathy where people are having, nerve endings are getting inflamed. You got to watch their, some people can have neuropathy without being diabetic. Absolutely. You know.
Mm.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. So it's a circulation issue. You remember that can also be lack of copper in the
Uh-huh.
body.
Okay.
Lack of copper. That's right, copper.
Okay.
Copper can be something. Remember, copper is used for circulation. That's why we use copper wire when we're in like
Mm-hmm.
plumbing or
Mm-hmm.
electrical devices or like stereo equipment. They use copper because copper is a good transfer. It's a neutral, keeps things steady.
Okay.
But you can also, when you have copper in your system, it helps to move circulation. So when someone has, actually, that's what keeps, I've said this several times. When someone has white hair, it's a symbol of a lack of copper. You add the copper, hair turns black again, y'all. Uh-oh. Did you hear that?
Well,
You can turn your hair black again.
it won't do it for bald head though. Well, so what can I tell you? All right.
It
No.
might be me. It may hurt. Don't hurt to try.
Well,
Nothing beats a try, right?
all right.
Nothing beats a try, y'all.
All right.
So definitely copper. So if you have copper, we always talk about taking something like a really good water, like a crystal geyser water,
Mm-hmm.
and you take that and you put it into a copper vessel. Like a copper pitcher. If you can get a copper pitcher, let me know. All right. But that's something that works really well. A copper
Okay.
pitcher.
All right.
All right. All right. Anyone else on that line, Big B?
No, but there's one
Uh,
here. Actually, were some unanswered questions from last week, Dr. Paul, about the
okay.
best type of cinnamon to buy. This individual says they've heard that some types that are sold in the U.S. are harmful. Some come from Ceylon, Vietnamese, they're from Vietnam. So, what does the
hmm
bad cinnamon do that makes it bad?
Well, it's always going to be the processes, where it comes from, cleanliness, all of those factors. That's with everything, though. There are some things where some people are saying some of the better cinnamons, and I I say it's best to just do your research.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
where are you purchasing? Where are you buying? When you're going into places that are not clean, don't just buy them from anywhere. We had a big problem with cleanliness with a lot of products coming out of all places, including Africa. Some of the companies that we were dealing with they just were not dealing good with cleanliness, and we
Hmm.
started finding, things that it's not done right. So, cinnamon, I really have not seen. There are some that may not be good ones. If I can find it, I'll find the name for you. There is one cinnamon we do say watch out for. Let me see if I can find that though. Okay,
Okay.
maybe I can bring the name on that. But there is one that we really have to be careful with. Um, yeah, yeah. I have to look up on that one.
Okay.
Okay.
All
What
right
was
then.
the other part of the question though?
They were just talking about the use of it and which one you would recommend.
Well, remember cinnamon. Um, you know,
What makes it actually bad?
well, it's not bad. It's antifungal. See, cinnamon is antifungal, so it
Mm.
has the ability. It has the ability to deal with fungus
Mm-hmm.
very well. There's nothing that does better than, um, dealing with fungus than cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
deals with blood issues. There's one, mouth ulcers. I mean, this
Okay.
stuff is good.
Okay.
Cleans the liver.
Okay.
Of course, cinnamon is used for diabetes. So it deals with a lot of good issues. They used to use cinnamon in the shoes. The ancient Israelites used to put it in their shoes
Mm-hmm.
because it killed foot fungus. So, you want to have some cinnamon feet? It
Well,
actually helps with,
well.
keeping the fungus. Some people get the fungus under the nails. That's what we would use, cinnamon or cinnamon oil. Okay, cinnamon oil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
so those are my recommendations right there. I mean, there are some that they say, but I just say watch where you get it from. Do the history. Usually most stores that most stores that you go to have already done their research. That's why we always say make sure you go to a store that's made the commitment to be organic. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let's see. Who else do we have here?
There's
Who else do we have
Dr.
here?
Paul, there is a the first timer on here.
Okay. First
Her name
timer.
is Shelly Folks.
Tell folk, I was just getting ready to read that
Okay.
question. Go ahead, Prophet. You boy,
'Cause
you
it's-
mind
it's-
reading,
it was-
boy.
Okay, Shelly, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is she on or is she? Just
I have
asking
the
a
question here, unless she wants to. Shelley, you want to go ahead and ask your question? Are you there online? Okay, she's not coming forward. So here we go. Says, hello, I'm a newbie. This is my first time visit with you guys, and I'm a diabetic. Was on insulin for most of 10 years. Changed doctors, and they took me off insulin, and I'm on what is that? Januvia. Okay, my sugar levels have been with 100. I guess 100 to 131 for several months, and have been controlled for the first time consistently for the past 7 months. Since then, I have had troubles with my kidneys, have uncontrollable IBS, and I have skin breakouts. My cholesterol was high and blood pressure has been continually high. Looking for help and want to get off this medicine. Please help me.
Yeah, what was the meds again? One more time. The meds.
Okay,
that she's
okay,
on.
let me go back to the meds here. Let's see. First, I'm on Januvia, Januvia. Okay. And the
Mhm.
other one, uncontrolled IBS and skin breakouts. That was the primary one. Was just the Januvia.
Yeah,
Was on
whenever that
was on
happens-
insulin at one time.
Yeah, that's all sugar. That's all control. That's food choices. See, diabetes is a food choices. You got to watch what you're doing. Here's where we have to get a clear understanding of what diabetes is. Does everybody have an understanding what diabetes is? Raise your hand if you know what diabetes is. Everybody know what diabetes is? We've heard what it is, but do you really understand how it applies in the body? See, sometimes they may not tell you the whole story. It's about something about the pancreas, something about this thing called insulin, something about not being able to do. Well, what does all mean? I want you to just understand this is as simple as it gets. And that every time you eat food, got it? Your liver breaks down everything and it turns into glucose. Got it? That glucose has to get into every cell because you have about 52 to 72 trillion cells and they need to be fed. So that glucose has to get in there because that glucose is energy, right?
Yes.
But it can't get into that cell unless your pancreas makes the insulin, which is the turnkey, which opens the cell wall up, allows the glucose to get in. You got it? So now what happens when you eat food, got it? And then now your pancreas stops making the insulin. Now the glucose can't get into the cell. Diabetes. That's what diabetes is. when the glucose cannot get into the cell because the pancreas stops making the insulin. So the $1 million question is, what stops the pancreas from making the insulin, right? Would you say that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Well, the main thing is concentration. You got to stay off of concentrated foods. Every diabetic should write that down. Anyone that having sugar issues, write that down. Concentration. You got to stay away from concentrated foods. What is concentration? That means all the moisture has been pulled off. That would be things like what? Refined sugars, refined salts, refined oils. Also, anything that pours slow. What pours slow? Give me some
Molasses.
idea what pours slow.
Molasses.
Syrup.
Molasses.
Molasses.
Molasses. What else?
Honey. Syrup.
Syrup, right? What else?
Honey.
Honey.
Honey, absolutely.
Oh.
That's right.
wow.
Now, why does it pour slow? Because the water's been pulled out.
Taken out. Mm-hmm.
Got it? So it's going to pour slow. So that means that your body, when your pancreas says, I do not like concentration, that's what I have a problem with, because whenever I see concentration, I have to add water to it. You got it? So that's like if you were to eat something, and not saying it's bad, but it's concentrated, which would be like a raisin. Like if you have a raisin, right? You
Hydrated
see a
food.
and it's dehydrated. That's another thing for concentration, right? The body looks at that raisin and says, I can't break that down. I only do things holistically. I only do things as a group, a organization, as a family. So guess what I'm going to do? In order for me to break that raisin down, I'm going to put water back into it, make it a grape again. Now I can break it down. You got it? So
Yes.
stay away from concentrated food. So everything that she's having a problem with is systemically attached to things that are concentrated. Got it?
Yes.
Dehydration is number one, because folks that are number one eating a lot of concentrated foods, they're also dehydrated, very dehydrated. So the pancreas is like, wait a minute, not only are you giving me something that's dehydrated, but you're not even giving me water. So what am I going to do? What do you want me to do? I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting it down. I'm not making no more insulin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's called diabetes. Now, when you make a little bit here, a little bit there, sort of sputtering like, that's type 2. When the pancreas says, I'm not making none at all, it's a total shutdown, that's type 1. You got it? That's as easy as it gets right there, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from concentrated foods. Now, what is concentrated also? That refined sugar.
Guys, mute your mics,
Mute
guys.
yourself. Mute yourself. Refined sugar, refined salts. Guess what? Everything in a box. Think about things that are in the stores, right? You got a lot of pesticide being sprayed on your foods. You got all of these things going on that are concentrated. They're stealing energy from your body. And your pancreas is like, I can't take this. I can't do this. Stops making 2 vital nutrients, magnesium and chromium. Write that down. Those are the 2 that the body stops making, magnesium and chromium. Because without magnesium and chromium, the body says, I cannot make insulin. So that's why when we start to number 1, it's not about just taking a herb and expecting change. You got to stop doing the things that are the triggers that cause the problem. You got me? So you got to put the fire out first. Now we start to repair the damage. After you put the fire out, the fire is sometimes the desire to want to have this stuff. You know, people can't let that stuff go, man. You got to let that stuff go. It's killing people. It literally is killing us. You got it? So you got to let the stuff go. Anything in the box. You may see something in the box when you go in the store, or you may be sitting around your house right now. When you see it, it says sodium, right? When you see that sodium, that is actually refined white salt. Got it? No matter how little or more it has in it, it still is denatured. That's not even real. That's not salt. That's sodium, which is sodium chloride, which is literally, technically, that's bleach.
Help me now.
Wow.
That's
Technically,
deep.
that's bleach. That's deep. So when you're talking about, all the manufacturers of salt, instead of giving everybody the unrefined salt, they're giving us the refined salt that's concentrated, which is dehydrated. That's why it's causing all the problems. Still tastes
Hmm.
like salt, but boy, does it do a job on you on the inside. Tears your insides up, tears your pancreas, your liver, your kidneys up. And then when people get into this, we get into cultural aspects of it where we get attached to this thing, where we I had a conversation today, and one of the brothers that was talking to me, he said, man, this is all I ever knew. I grew up like this. I grew up around the way, corner
Hmm. Hmm.
store, cheesesteak, hoagies, sodas, you know,
Yeah.
sodas, the pineapple sodas,
Oh my.
Tahiti. Y'all
Yes.
remember this? Come on now, pineapple
Yeah.
sodas, cookies, you know,
Right on
everything,
thing.
potato chips, orange sodas. The what's that? The Tahiti Joe, the Tahiti Fruity Joe.
Well,
All of
um,
that stuff, concentrated, refined products, fermentation,
mhm, mhm.
carbonated. All this stuff is bad. Did you know that also there is and I got to look this up, Big B. I'm going to do a whole thing on the Chinese restaurants. Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Okay.
They have an oil. All right. It's called, it's a junk, they call it junk oil. And they recycle this oil so much till it's at a level where when it gets to a certain degree, they sell it to the airports, to the airplanes.
Oh my. Oh my. To power the planes. Help me, Lord.
To power the planes.
Oh my.
The same one you had your egg foo young and your
Mm-mm,
General
nasty.
South, your General South chicken, and
Not
Oh
what
good.
is it?
Lord. Shrimp fried
And
rice.
chicken chow mein, shrimp fried rice.
Crap. You said it.
I just stepped on somebody's shrimp fried rice, didn't I?
Yes, Lord.
Yes. So all of that stuff is recycled, oils that are refined, and that stuff goes right in, causes plaque buildup. That's sort of like the system that we're talking about. So the
Mhm.
sister's having multiple systems shut down
Mhm.
because number one is food choices. We got to deal with your brain, on your mind, on what you're eating. Top 10 toxic foods. That's why first thing I send people to, get that top 10 toxic food. Number two, get your water right. You got to get your water right because remember, what was it? Dehydration, right? I don't
Yeah.
have enough water. Concentration. What's the number one? That's why I focus so much with the crystal geyser and all the half your body weight in ounces. Because when you get water, you better get a good water. Don't get the bad water because that's going to make the problem even worse. Got it? Okay, so the other things are stay away from acid forming foods, go to alkaline based foods. So, alkaline based diets. Google alkaline based food diets. Or you can even do what's called alkaline recipes. I attest to what's called a Essenes diet. That's what I have. I'm a pescatarian, so I have a little fish, fruits, vegetables, nuts, beans, seeds, and a little fish. That's what I do. It's a pescatarian. That's from the ancient Essenes or the Essenes, same one that Christ actually participated with when they were helping him with his fasting. Happened
Mm.
with the Essenes.
Mhm.
They have dietary laws. You can punch in what's called Essenes dietary laws. Okay, that's one that I recommend. Okay, that's what I attest to. Keeps your mind right, gets you everything you need without stepping out the line. So beans, rice, beans, grains, nuts, berries, seeds, things like that, along with a little fish. And what kind of fish is that gonna be, y'all? By the way,
Tail.
not everybody
I,
answered at the same
Tail.
time.
Fish with
Fins and scales. Fins and scales. No tilapia.
Whoa. Mama, mama. Somebody needs to mute. Somebody needs to
Ooh,
mute.
somebody mute. Somebody mute. Somebody mute. Okay. All right. Fins and scales, right? Fins and scales. What else? No bottom feeders, right? No catfish. No catfish. No tilapia. No eel. No shark.
No crabs.
What about
No
haddock?
crabs.
Everything
Does
we
it have
love.
fins and scales? If it's fins and scales, yes. I believe haddock does have it. Yes, fins and scales.
And can you
You just
spell
gotta.
a scene dietary law? How do you spell
Essence.
Aseen?
Yeah, Essenes.
Aseen?
No.
No, E-S.
ESS.
E-S-S.
ENES.
E-N-C-E-S. Right.
Yes.
Okay, so when you start to do that, you can start to get into some kind of a change. Starts by the renewing of your mind. You got it? See, it's this thing that's taking people down. And I'm going to tell you, y'all, it's happened at a very young age. You know, we have some of the youngest people that I have coming in my office, 10, 12, 8 years old, diabetes, high blood pressure.
Shouldn't be.
Travesty,
Shouldn't be.
y'all. It's
Shouldn't be,
crazy.
family. Shouldn't be.
Understand? This is crazy. Talking about doing, the next and new frontier for these hospitals is juvenile dialysis.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did y'all hear that? Okay, you got to be careful with this. This thing is no way in the world that a child should be having a shutdown in their pancreas at the age of 6, 7, 8 years old. That's ridiculous. Unless there was some kind of complications from birth. But this is really what's happening out here. I had one person, they were saying, well, my son, he just goes down and he eats all this stuff. And I find candy wrappers underneath the bed and all this. And, and I can't stop him. I said, look, does he have a job? Does he work? I said, somebody buying this stuff. You got it? So we got to control our urges and our craving for this thing called sugar, y'all. This sugar is a poison. It is technically, it is a drug. You got it? They even said that those that are craving the sugar, they did a study and showed that it's very high on the addictive level, what it does to the brain. So they know this. So you put sugar in anything, you want somebody to love it, put a lot of sugar in it.
Guys,
Put a
I
lot of
told you a long
salt in
time
it.
ago, crack, sugar just like crack. It's harder to get off sugar than it is to get off crack. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Let's just go there.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. And then also
Because it's in
the
everything.
it's in everything. And the one that I'm going to really jump on tonight, and this one, I'm telling you, y'all, you gotta watch this canola oil. Canola oil is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay, somebody mute yourself. Somebody mute yourself. All right. So canola oil is found in so many things. You find it in. I want you to look at everything from bread to crackers to potato chips to pretzels. Some of all of your favorite things, even the condiments that you have, are filled with canola oil. They're getting away with it. Canola oil is not a real substance. It is from the rapeseed. Happened a long time ago over in Canada. So that's why we got to stay off that canola oil. That will saturate your arteries and veins and absolutely put you on a statin. Okay? All right. Let's move on. Let's go move on. I have, is that Helen? Helen, how you doing?
How are you doing, Dr. Paul? How are you doing, Bill?
Hey, Helen, how are you?
All right.
How's
Doing
everybody?
well.
All right.
Great. So since you were talking about sugar, I just want to ask you, how is coconut sugar? Is coconut sugar any good?
Long as it's unrefined. Yep. Long as it's unrefined. Yep. The key is always going to come back to unrefined. Remember, if it's unrefined, the minerals are in them, right? So that means your body, who's the greatest refiners? We are the greatest refiners.
Yep.
Got it? That's what your liver, your pancreas, your kidneys do. They process it. And if it doesn't have it, then it's basically the body looks at it as sludge. I'm going to store this up somewhere. I can't do anything with it. It's already been processed. Remember, who's the greatest processor? We are. Who's the greatest converter? We are. You should not be putting anything in your mouth unless your body can convert it to energy.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
That's
That's
where we are.
heavy.
Yes,
That's
yes, yes.
heavy.
I have
Got it?
two more
We
things,
are.
Dr. Paul. The one
Mm-hmm.
is, why don't you open up a hospital and name it St. Paul's Holistic Hospital? That would be just wonderful.
I appreciate you, sis. I really appreciate you. Hey, if God be the glory, if that be the way, then I sure will take it.
I know
Hey,
that's
I will
right.
accept it. I'm led with the Most High God. That's it. What He tell me to do, I do. That's
I
it. I
know that's
show
right.
up.
That's right.
And if things move in that direction, I think we do need things like that. Whether it happens in America or not, that's a whole nother story.
Amen. There we go.
There's powers that be don't want things like that because people might mess up and you might get well. So that's why, that's why, you know, you are the captain of your own vessel.
There
You
we are.
got it?
Real simple. Real simple.
You
family.
have to, if you
Really, really
educate the
simple.
people,
Yes.
the people will make the right decision. That's why
Mhm.
I don't go out here trying to beat people over the head because some people, even after you tell them the answer, they still don't make the changes. So it's a form of choice. It's
Yep.
your choice whether to do right or not.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just can't give up the rituals and the ceremonies.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, the rituals and the
My.
ceremonies.
You better
Y'all
stop.
know what the rituals and the
You better
ceremonies
stop. You
are.
better stop.
Big B,
You better stop.
Dancing with the Stars is on tonight. Where's
Wow.
my ice cream?
help us, y'all.
The rituals and the ceremonies. So
But you know
Helen,
what, Dr.
I'd be
White,
glad to accept the honor, but
it's so
we'll
hard
see how it
because it's
happens.
comfortable.
Right.
Yes. It's comfort food,
Yeah.
but you can't eat like that all the time. You got
That's
it?
right. That's right. And
Yeah.
lastly, Dr. Paul, I was listening to Bill reading over the cases. When you look at the news, you really don't hear anything about, those that are positive, those that are recovering, or those, the deaths. But since America is reopened now, I still wear my mask, and, some other people are still wearing theirs as well. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really up to the individual, I suppose, what they want to do, whether they want to get vaccinated or not get vaccinated. Like I said, I did get my first one, and I'm supposed to be getting my second one soon. And I did feel, just a little lightheaded, a little, the sore in the arm and so forth. But, I figured they were going to start, telling us that, if you're going to go back to work, that, you're going to need to show 4 of your card or something like that. So, and I know they're probably going to be cutting, I don't know if they're going to do the stimulus checks or they're going to cut off unemployment or what they're going to do. So I says, well, I better get in line, get this vaccination done, get back to work because I need my money flow. That's
a lot of people are calling in about that.
Yeah.
They're calling in about, their workplace. How do you feel going back into your workplace again? Sitting at a desk or a cubicle, are you feeling comfortable? Is there proper airflow in this building?
And that's where the diseases are at work, because people are getting flus and ammonia and all types of coughing and stuff
you
like the
got
job.
you have more than just COVID to worry about. Is the building properly ventilated? Is it going to be something that you can keep going and moving, that the air is flowing enough that you have to have interaction? What happens when you have a board meeting and everybody has to go into the boardroom? That's a smaller room, right?
Exactly.
Then you're going to sit in there with everybody. You can't space but so big, You know what? It's interesting how this thing of timing has they kind of joking around with it because they'll say, well, you can only stand 6 feet, but after tomorrow
you can go to 3.
You can stand 3 feet.
Right.
So Corona's like, yeah, this week I'll be 6 feet this week, but next week I'm gonna be 3 feet.
Right. Don't make sense.
And then it's like they were joking about this. They were like, because some of the Midwest places that you could go in, after 9:30, you got to get back home because Corona coming. After 9:30, you had to get home, and you couldn't be in certain places after a certain time. So all of this hysteria that's going on, just be mindful. You can't be going back to your immune system every time. That's the one thing and only thing that you can bank on.
Yes,
Make
indeed.
sure you have a proper balance with your food. Stay off these foods that I'm talking about, y'all. Your greatest barometer of health is you. So
Yeah.
whenever you start to see something wrong and you sniffling or you're coughing or something's happening where your stomach's upset, that's your body talking to you. You got to listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's the female principle we call that always comes to let you know, my child, there's a problem. We need to fix this. Don't keep doing what you're doing. Got it? Sometimes you'll feel like, you ever heard somebody say, well, you know what? They might say, man, my shoulder's hurting a little bit. Oh, my jaw. Oh,
Mhm.
jaw starts hurting. All of a sudden, my shoulder. And next thing you know, I feel a little tingling on my side. And then they go to the hospital and the doctor says, you know what? You were having heart attacks the whole time.
Mm.
Wow. Those were mini heart attacks. They'll call it mini heart attacks, but there's not many heart attacks. That's the female principle alerting you that there's a problem here. And then when the male principle hits, boom, heart attack. You got it? So that's why it's always a male female principle always in effect. So when you start to get those little signs, you got to do something. Don't delay. If you know something's wrong, little scraggly little cough, something like in here. You feel that coming on? Grab something like a golden seal. Not to diagnose, treat, kill, prevent any disease, is food for the soul. Grab you some elderberry. Grab you something that's, bronchial, that deals with the lungs. That would
Mm-hmm.
be like nettle or something like olive leaf or even the oil of oregano, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things you got to do. You got to be spot on. You got it? Be
And
attentive.
Dr.
So, Helen,
Paul,
yep.
now let's say that a person got fully vaccinated. What do they need to do after they are, fully vaccinated and they want to just get a complete cleanse after that?
I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna have to clean your blood. You got to keep your blood clean, family. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, remember, you're doing something that has never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Amen.
it's actually two strains of DNA now attached to your DNA. So that's almost like it's like putting a mark or band on you. You're marked now. So now we don't know how that affects can be even detox when it goes into the actual mitochondria, which is their cells. They don't even know what this stuff does. So that's why it's a little hard for us to even say what you can do with this. But the only thing you can do is clean the blood. Keep the
Mm-hmm.
blood clean. Remember, the Bible says
Right.
the blood is the life of the body. It's the most precious, most sacred part of you. And what goes in the blood is what functions through all the organs, because all the blood flows through every organ every 20 minutes. So
Right.
you got to keep that blood clean. You got it? So that's what I would recommend. I gave a list of all the blood cleansers a couple of weeks ago. Y'all want me to go over that again?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Some of the blood cleansers, not to diagnose, treat, kill, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. Is that parsley right there? Laverne? I know parsley when I see it. Yeah, parsley is good. That's good. Parsley could be the number one. Laverne thought that she eating it raw like that. Don't eat it too much now, because you will be starting to make it an exit real soon. All right, burdock root would be one. Yeah, Denise sold up the burdock root. Yes, burdock root. That's another one. Chaparral. Chaparral. Okay, chaparral. Pal d'Arco. Pal d'Arco. Red clover.
Hmm?
Red clover. Thuja. Thuja. I'm going to give some that I haven't given before. Sheep sorrel. SheepSorrell. Got it. Sorrel. Bloodroot. Bloodroot. Got it. I did say red clover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say
Yeah.
red clover?
Yep, that you did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Black seed. Black seed bitters.
Can
Cape.
you take the oil, the black seed oil?
Yes, black seed oil is good. That's a blood cleanser. Another one would be Cape aloes. Oh, y'all getting the big list today.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, you might have to repeat this list for me because it's coming off the top of my head. Oh man. Let's see. Where were we?
I'm praying that Prophet's fingers is working real fast today.
Yeah, because I'm in the zone right now. The next one would be cleavers. Cleavers. Yes, cleavers. All right. Indian hemp. Oh man, this is a serious list right here. I'm just coming off the top of the head. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see.
Isn't garlic one of them?
Garlic, yes, absolutely. You definitely got to do the garlic. Okay, make sure you garlic. Black root. Black root.
Dr. Paul, I thought Dr. Africa said no garlic.
No, he didn't say that.
Okay.
That was Dr. Sabi said that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Dr. Africa never said that. He just said that, there's a lot of hybrids. Dr. Sabi said no garlic because he believed in the hybridization of the foods. But that's with all the foods right now. Everything is hybrid.
Are you talking about garlic powder or fresh garlic?
Doesn't matter. They're talking about garlic, period.
All right,
but
thank you.
Here you have to establish the understanding. It's not even about that. Does it make you alkaline or does it make you acid? That's the key. You got it? We have come down to the point where if it's good for you, it's going to alkalize the system. If it's bad for you, it's going to bring, destruction to the system. So that's why I said just keep that in mind, okay? Don't get too caught up in the politics. What people can get really caught up in the politics,
right?
Because I could tell you many stories where garlic saved people's lives. Just garlic, period. Cleaning the blood, stopped them from having circulatory issues, declotted the arteries and veins. Opened up and dilated things that that they could not do with medication, but people started taking raw garlic and just eating it and drinking and chasing it with water. You got it? So keep it in perspective, y'all. Keep it in perspective. Got it?
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul.
All right. That was it.
Look at the Arco. What was the word?
Paul DiArco?
You say Paul, P-A-U-L?
No, P-A-U.
P-A-U.
Okay.
Yeah, P-A-U.
Okay.
D-A-R-C-O. Yeah, Paul DiArco. That's the bark from a Brazilian tree. And you know that they're seriously tearing down the rainforest.
Yes. And by the way, guys, the entire
that's
blood cleansers list is in the chat, and we'll have that available later on.
So that's some that's some good ones right there. I used to have. There's so many different blood cleansers. It's almost like that's what God's his intention was to help to get the blood clean. Also, dandelion. Don't forget the dandelion, y'all. Dandelion. Dandelion is good. Any of the bitters. These are falling under. There's one commonality with all of them. They are the bitters. All are bitters. So why bitters? Because they actually go in and they bind to toxins and pull it out of you. Got it? Sarsaparilla. Another one is sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla. That's Sarsaparilla. Got it?
What about sea moss?
Sure. Sea moss. Sea moss is a detox also. That pulls mucus out of the system. That has what's called medium chain triglycerides. Yes, that is good. Pulls toxins and poisons out of the body.
Okay.
Yep. So that's why I say there's so many. There's so many. That's that you know, and then when you go to different cultures, you're gonna get different herbs from different cultures. There's one woman, I was on the radio the other day and she mentioned one called duck flower, you know, which comes from a lot of the Jamaican traditions. The Sarasi, you know, the getting, was it the there's so many, man. I can think of there's so many herbs, but guess what? They all have a commonality. You know,
one of them.
you also have you know, as the Bible says, hyssop.
Yes.
Hyssop.
Cleanse.
Remember hyssop. May I purge my body with hyssop.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So hyssop is another one. I'm just thinking off the top, y'all. I'm going real deep with some of these. I haven't heard some of these in so long. But those are some of the ones that we use. So, you know, you can get them in a lot of tonics too. You know, one tonic that people don't talk about more, one was called the wood root tonic. Y'all remember wood root tonic? You ever heard of a wood root tonic? Wood root tonic was a combination of herbs that were for the Cameroons. The Cameroons, you know, the Cameroons were autonomous. They were the only ones to never go into slavery. They actually literally hijacked the slave ship and then basically became literally a nation of themselves. And that's some of the things that we know that their traditions were. They had things that they survived with, and this was called a wood root tonic. You can still buy wood root tonic, matter of fact, if you go online. It's very rough. I'm gonna tell you, Paul, it's rough, but guess what? It's very good. Also, frankincense and myrrh. You know, where'd you hear frankincense and myrrh from, y'all?
Bible.
From
the Bible.
Yeah.
It was one of the gifts, two of the gifts.
That's right. Two of the gifts, right?
Right.
You got it. So those are amazing things that clean the body. I think that's enough. How many did we get on that?
That's
a
whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
That's just off the top of my head that I can think of while I'm in the zone.
18 or 19.
Oh, what's the other one? The yellow something from Dr. Sabi. He mentioned yellow something.
Yellow Doc.
Yellow Doc. That's it.
Yellow Doc. Yes, Yellow Doc. There's also Strong Back. Make it a fresh 21.
Okay.
They're gonna get away with a good list this week, Dr. Paul.
22.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. That's 22.
Yep, that's 22.
Let me see. Let me see if I can make 25. Let's see. Of course, ginger. You got to put ginger on there. And ginseng. Ginger and ginseng.
What about bladder rat? Is that
Cheney root. Cheney root. Chaney. Cheney root. Chaney root.
It's 25.
That's 25. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to have to go to 30.
There you go.
I'm trying to end off with a good number.
Don't take all of them at one time. at the same time.
Yeah, Laverne, if anybody take all these herbs at one
Bye.
time,
Bye.
they're gonna be
Bye
on the
bye.
toilet for a month.
Non-stop.
Oh my.
They're gonna be on the toilet for a month.
Oh my.
I had somebody, they said, man, they used to take sassafras. That's another cleanse one. I'm not y'all can add it to the list. I'm not going to go to 30. Sassafras. And he said, man, my grandma used to give me that, boy. She give it down. She poured that down our throat, boy. Clean you so good. You can look down my throat and see the ground.
I'll bet.
Woo, that's clean, man. That's clean.
Right. Rooted,
That's
from the
clean.
rooted to the tootie, all the way
From the
through.
rooted to the tootie. Okay, so y'all got my point, though, right?
Yep.
You got my point.
Yep.
Whenever you're doing anything, you have any problem, you gotta clean the blood. Got it? I hope that list does you some well.
Yep.
Big B, send that list to me, because
I sure will. I sure will.
And
So
that's
we'll have it all
sometimes you can get in these zones and you think about certain things
Surely.
you forgot about for years. I've studied a lot of these herbs, and some of them I have to pull out a lot of these that you don't even remember.
Well, Dr. Hall, there must be a reason for it. Something we're about to go through stuff in this country and the world, and you know what? It's this stuff that's going to help us get through.
Absolutely, and this is also, remember, this is your tool chest, right?
Yes.
So
yes,
if everybody's scrambling for stuff, and then you say, well, you know what? Everybody's running for the golden seal. Everybody's running for all those things, which should be added to that list, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness, I'm starting it up again. Golden seal.
Well, you know, I was on.
That's all right.
I was wondering.
Yes. So when you take this, you can actually say, when everybody's running for it, you can say, well, guess what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do this one. You have options. You got a lot of options.
There you go.
Got to put mugwort on there. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
This came to my mind. Mugwort.
That's all right.
I'm starting it up. Providence, I'm sorry. I keep going. I'm going to keep going.
We'll just copy and paste and add the next one on.
28.
28? Gotta go to 30 now. All right. All right. Let me think. All right, keep talking. Maybe something will kick in.
Milk thistle.
Bladderwrack.
Milk thistle. But I wouldn't do those as this particular for the milk thistle is milk thistle. Milk thistle. High in antioxidants. We said yellow dot, right? I said guinea hen. Yep, guinea hen. That's another one. I did say
moringa.
Moringa is good too. Moringa.
Red onion.
Yeah, what about the red onion?
Yep, you got to do the red onion. That's the alums. Yep, the alums. That falls with garlic and onions. Any of the onions. Red being the highest. Purple, red being the highest.
What about
Dr. Paul? Those herbs are in the herbs that build your immune system.
Right, that's true. Yeah, we're trying to. They clean the blood also. We're trying to do the herbs right now. I'm trying to stick to the herbs right now, because you need to see something that you don't always see, and in normal. I'm trying to give you some that you don't see, because that's where once people start running for stuff, you need to be able to have options. You got me? Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know that there is a black seed bitters tonic.
Yep.
Did y'all know that?
Yep.
Not the black seed oil. See, we always went with the black seed bitters tonic.
Yep.
As opposed to doing, the specific ones with deals with the oils. See, the tonic actually is more effective. I believe it's more effective. Okay, because that deals with everything. Oh man, you talk about black seed bitters tonic. It's amazing. You know what it has in it. You know the combination of herbs that are in it is phenomenal. So look at the black seed. Look at the black seed bitters tonic. Okay, it's a tonic. So let me see. Another one would be. Let me see if I can give a couple more. Um, we did sea moss, right? We did sea moss.
Yep.
We did sorrel, sheep sorrel. You did moringa.
Yep.
Mahogany bark. Yes, mahogany bark. Yes, that's from the mahogany tree, boy. That's a good piece of wood too, Bill.
Yes, it
That's
is,
a
man.
good, nice man. Woo. Did you
Don't
know
see
that,
much of
Mark?
that anymore.
No, you don't. You don't. You don't.
I'm sorry, what was that? Mahogany what?
Mahogany
Root?
bark.
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 Yes.
Bark. Yeah, the bark from the mahogany tree. Got it? Goldenrod. Goldenrod. That's the one. Yes, that one. Not golden. That's not golden seal. That's goldenrod. Mm-hmm. Very
34.
34.
Going to 40.
Leave him alone, lady. I knew you just trying to
Who
start
said
trouble.
that?
Next.
That's Lydia. Stop
Lydia,
trying to
I'm gonna
start
get you,
trouble,
Lydia.
Lydia.
Lydia
I'm gonna
too.
get you, Lydia. All right, let me give you one more. One more for the road. All right. Chicory. Chicory. Chicory.
Okay.
That's the ultimate list right there, y'all. Please share that list with somebody.
Yes,
That's your
indeed.
list right there. All you
will-
need is one. You got me? Let me tell you how awesome God is. One. You take
Not
one
all
and just
40.
rock with that one, whether tea capsules, and rock with that one.
Not
That's
all
it.
40.
That's it. Let me tell you, that'll clean you. That'll clean you up.
All
That'll
right.
do a whole lot of stuff. If you were stuck on a desert island, just take one. That's all you got to do. Take one of them, and it'll get you straight.
Somebody said, "What's the
Got it?
best time of day to take it?"
Well, it's based on your lifestyle.
Right,
You
there
know,
we go.
if you're
Okay.
taking herbs, we try to take them in the times that you could take them in the morning. You know, remember it's cleansing every change of season. So you can take them in the morning with a green drink. Depends on what kind of form you have them in. You can take it as a tea. Okay.
Okay.
So there's no specific time.
Okay.
I would, if it's the first time you're taking it, I would start to take it on, after some food. Okay.
Yes.
Don't take it on an empty stomach. If that was only one precaution I would have. Because some people get scared when they start taking herbs. They say, well, you know what? Ooh, I ain't taking that no more. That made me throw up. That's exactly what you needed to do. You needed to throw up. That's exactly what you needed to do. You needed to get it out of you. And the body said, get it out the fastest way you can get it out. But see, people don't like that throwing up thing.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you, when you throw up, I mean, everybody in here know when you throw it up, what happens? You say,
ew.
Whew,
Feel
I
better.
still feel a whole lot better, don't you?
Yes.
You got it? Makes you feel a whole lot better.
Yes. Yes.
Because you're purging out
Get
all that poison.
Yes,
So that's what
gone.
it does. Remember, I told you the bitters go in and they attach to the poison and pull it out. So here we go. We got to get it out. Pull it out. You got it? That's why when you take a lot of these herbs, there's only one other disclaimer that I will give you. And that is make sure if you take one of these, you got to increase your water. Remember, I said it needs water in order to activate. You need your water. You got it? All right. All right. We got a couple more questions here, Big B. And it is, what time is it? Is it 8:30?
It's 8:30 already, man.
Dr. Paul?
Yes.
How do we access the recorded sessions here?
Well, they're always going to post right on Facebook. They're going to be in Dr. Paul's Holistic Health Network on Facebook. If
Right.
you are
Next
not
Valley.
a part of it, just go to Facebook and sign up. And then basically send me an invite and I'll bring you right in. It's a private group, but we have all of the shows. And that's also
All the
from
recordings
the
are there, Kevin.
WUR. All the recordings are there. Okay.
Yes. And also, Kevin, let
Hey,
me just say
Kevin.
this.
Hey, yes, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dr. Paul.
No. Go ahead, babe.
No, I was just
'Cause I
going to
got
say that, Kevin, bear in mind that after each program, everything, Dr. Paul sends me the list of everything. I take this information, right? And then I edit all the pieces together. Matter of fact, even the chat, we turn that into a PDF document so you can have it along with you when you're actually watching the program as you go along. Okay.
Okay.
So it makes it very, very easy. And for those of you who don't know, if you want a copy of the chat, you want to make sure that you write down mechavideo@gmail.com. Again, that's mechavideo@gmail.com. Prophetess puts it down she puts it in the chat every week. So if you want a copy of tonight's program, listen, just send that in. And as soon as he sends me the link, I put all that stuff together and I get it out. As soon as I edit things out tomorrow, then I'll get it to you as early as maybe a Friday, if at all possible, depending on how things work out. But we'll try and get it out so that you can have access to it and you can sit back and go over it again and again and again and share it with somebody else and invite them to the tree next time.
Yeah, that's a good list, B.
Yes, it is.
Get that over to me, man.
I sure will.
Get that list over to me. All right.
Yes.
So, Kevin, I wanted to ask you a question.
Sure.
Now, Kevin, you sent me a document for a biological dentist. Did you remember that?
Yeah, it probably was a couple years ago, or I don't know how recent. Yeah.
That was recently. You just sent it this
I tested a lot of stuff.
Kevin, he don't even remember that.
I read a lot of stuff. I'm all over the place, but
oh, Doc Mike like this. I ain't gonna look at it. Okay, I'm gonna.
I never hear from you, so I figured I figured went to spam or something.
No.
Matter of fact, I gave it to your mom.
Oh,
I told your mom.
I would like that.
It's best
I
to,
gave
it's
it to
best
your
to
mom.
come from you instead of me because it'll go nowhere if it's coming from me. I gotta come from the doctor.
Kevin, you better behave, Kevin. You being serious.
It's the truth.
That's for the biological dentist. I need it. I'm looking for one.
Yes. Well, Kevin gave me this number. I'm going to give it to y'all. I can't recommend it only because Kevin gave it to me and he don't know who it is.
But the dentists are not putting any more silver in your teeth anymore.
Okay, calm down.
Listen up, guys.
Mute up, y'all. Mute up. Somebody mute.
Can I
Okay,
say
say
this?
that again, Kevin. Yeah,
I went to the dentist, and for years I said, "Look, I want this out of my mouth. I want this out of." We don't do that. We don't do that. And so from this point, they said, "Well, you need to go to a specialist for that." That's where the biological dentist comes in at. The insurance is not going to pay for it. I think you have to pay for it out of pocket. But the now dentists are not putting silver in your mouth. They only take it out or deal with it if it's like chipped and it has to come, is really severe. Right. Other than that, they're not putting any more the silver in your mouth.
Yeah, they
got to that point.
That's correct. That was actually, mercury is a banned element. Yes. You shouldn't have any metal in your mouth at all, period. And that's because it starts to mess with your autonomic system. Your autonomic system is your motor skills, your balance, your coordination. Also, it interrupts eventually things like the myelin sheath, which is actually a protective coating over your nervous system. And then if you have a break in that line, that's where things like Parkinson's, ALS, Lou Gehrig's, things like that, multiple sclerosis comes from. So they know that the metals are hard because anything in your mouth, especially with a tooth, is connected to an organ in your body. That's why you got to get that stuff out of you. You know what? And that's what a biological dentist does. So if you have someone, if you want to find out, call your dental coverage and ask who is the closest biological dentist to me. There was a couple that I had on the Green Hour a couple of years back. I used to have Dr. Grube, Grube. Blanche, her name is Blanche Grube. and she's very good. I don't know if she's back since the coronavirus. Um, the one that Doctor I have here is Dr. Gerald Regni, and that's the one that Kevin sent me. I have not checked this doctor out. I will do that. I will try to see if I can contact this doctor and sort of give the the 101 and find out their principles and their practice, and I'll try to get back to you all. How about that? But this particular dentist is in Philadelphia. Okay. All right. All right, let's see who we got here. We got a few more, and we're gonna close out. We have is that Maxine? Hey, Maxine.
This is a quick question.
Okay.
Valerian root?
Yes.
Yes.
Valerian root, because I went to see my primary care, and she knows we're really
hold on, Maxine. Everyone, please mute because we can't hear
Mute
Maxine.
yourself. Yes. Go
Mute
ahead.
yourself, guys.
Yeah, she now understands that I'm not trying to be on any kind of medication, and she's talking to me about more herbs and things and Eastern medicine. You ready for that one? And she's Asian, as a matter of fact. But she recommended, I told her I was having problems really sleeping through the night and feeling a little angsty and stuff. So she said, recommended maybe I try valerian root. She also, you mentioned the magnesium. She said she thought I may benefit from taking magnesium, melatonin. And if those two didn't work, she said I could take those two together. If I didn't get the experience what I really want with that, then maybe I should just try the valerian root. So you know, the first thing I thought, I'm saying, oh, I'm going to ask Dr. Paul.
Okay, excellent ones. Definitely calmatives. Okay. The reason valerian works so well, it is from, of course, the valerian tree. Doesn't have a great smell to it, and a lot of people are offended when they try to take it as a tea, but you can get it as capsules. Okay, valerian root was always used as the downer to get your energy. It is a pineal operator. It actually helps to resonate the melanin, that center chakra we call the pineal gland. It actually helps resonate melanin or melatonin for balance and coordination. So that's where you get your sleep from, get you in a good cycle. So melanin production, valerian root is one of those. Now, that's also where they get Valium from. When they started to create Valium, they created it by mimicking, you hear what I said, mimicking the valerian root. You got it? Can't patent something that grows out the ground. So we're gonna mimic it. Got it? You got me? So they mimic this, and that's how effective that the valerian root really is. Now, put on top of that a magnesium generator, which magnesium balances the central nervous system. That's why people take Epsom salts all the time. Epsom salts is magnesium. So people would take an Epsom salts bath. But here's what I recommend for you. You take the valerian root along with a Himalayan salt bath.
I have them. Okay.
Game changer. Guarantee it. You talk about relaxation, you're going to be tingling from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes.
All right now.
You are out for the count.
But one question, now I'm a little concerned about the valerian root since it's Valium.
And
Listen.
You didn't hear what I said. When you mimic something, you just denatured it. Got it?
Okay.
Got it? You denatured
now
it.
I do.
That's the one you got to watch out for, the one they mimicked, not the natural one that God created.
Got it.
That's the one that's the nutrition and the food. That's the nutrition, antioxidant food. That's the one that's in balance. The one out of balance is the one that they mimic. Got it? That's the difference. Don't be scared of what God made for you now.
I know that's right.
Reason, right? Okay.
Now I'll buy it.
Yes, down. You got it. Now you got it. So now there's also another one that I recommend, also called willow bark. Willow bark coming from the willow tree, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease, just food for the soul. Willow bark. That's from the willow tree. Y'all see the willow tree? It looks like it's a big old natural. Yeah.
Right.
Sitting out there just relaxing. When you look at the tree, it sort of tells you what it does for you. Think about that. You can look at all trees and sort of look to see what it does for you. When you look at a weeping willow, first thing comes to your mind is
Crying.
Relaxation.
That tree just chilling. And don't let it be a weeping willow that's kind of leaning a little bit, kind of like brother just chilling. That's what it's very relaxing to even look at.
Yes.
So the weeping willow, that's where they came up with aspirin from. They mimicked the willow bark to come up with aspirin. Wow.
All right, guys, you hear that?
Do y'all hear that?
Got it.
You got it? So all of these are calmatives. They thin the blood a little bit. They relax the system. Now, I would not be rolling out trying to operate large machinery when you got the valerian root. Don't take it during the day. Got it?
Right,
No, I
exactly.
would take it at night before I go to
Yeah,
bed.
always it's an evening herb, okay? Because when you take that and go to work, you're gonna be telling folks stuff that you probably said, Max, you like, you know what, I don't like you. You know what? You always got on my nerves. They be like, Maxine, you acting a little strange today. You all right? Like, I'm just relaxed right now. I'm real chill, real relaxed right now. You might tell everybody where to go.
Well,
don't take
I
it
know that's right.
and go to work. Don't take it and go to work.
Oh, my.
Don't do it.
All
Okay.
right.
All
Very
right. Good question. Good question.
All right. Okay.
All right. We got. I'm gonna take a couple more. Stacy,
Oh, you didn't get the questions in the chat?
you didn't answer it in the chat. Oh yeah, we have a question in the chat. Big B.
Dude, there's so much stuff in here. I can't even.
Remember, if you have a question,
did you send, Stacy? Which one?
I'm Pamela.
Okay,
I'm using
Pamela.
I'm using Stacy's computer.
See that? You ought to be.
Oh,
ashamed of
really?
yourself. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. go ahead, Pamela.
I'm being Pamela. Stacy didn't know she was using her name. Go ahead.
Okay. And they have all of the, like when you go to the dentist, everybody's pushing these implants. And
you talking about for the dentist? Yeah.
Dental implants. And I'm like, I just didn't think that it's a good idea to put like a screw down in your.
You got it. You got it. You spot on. Metal in the body. Remember, anything, and this is another reason why we go back to, this is the thing about the vaccines and things. And it's a touchy subject because we say the body only recognizes friend or foe. You either here to help me, you got to get this. You got it. There's no middle guy that just sort of hangs around and says, can I just hang out with y'all? No, you either a friend or a foe.
Yes.
You got me?
Yes.
There is no middle person or middle thing in the body. That's what your thymus does. Your thymus determines by frequency and vibration if you are alive or if you're dead. You got it? Yeah. If you're alive, then you're going to match the frequency of everything we got going on in here. Amen. But if you're not something that belongs to the Most High God and you ain't supposed to be in this territory, you got to get stepping.
I know that's right. Got to get stepping.
That's why people are having to take all of this rejection medication and things after they've had certain types of, replacements and things like heart replacements and, they've been kidney replacements, things like that, because the body has to get used to you. I got to get used to that you're actually friend or foe. So when you have metal in your mouth, that is the foe. That does not belong in you. That's inorganic. The body's like, I don't even know what that is. So we're going to try to isolate it as much as we can. So you're spot on. And yes, it causes infections. And we say that it's not good because it disrupts the autonomic system. which is the, again, the myelin sheath. Okay. Because metal is just not supposed to be in the body.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Okay.
You got it. Spot on. Friend or foe, y'all. Friend
Thank
or
you.
foe.
Thank
This.
you.
All right. Thank you.
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here right now.
Okay, Stacey, I got you. Don't cut me off now. Go ahead. I got you.
Just real quick, a couple weeks ago, you were talking about seasonal food. I'm trying to get, I don't eat a lot of pork, but I do put a little bit of pork in my greens. But you said something about kelp granules or something like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what
Okay.
people use if they want to season your greens without using some kind of, animal fat. Yep.
Right.
That's what they would use. Yep. Yep. So you would use kelp granules in your greens. And I tell you, I've had some of the best folks that love some poke. I tell you, they said, you know what? One lady told me, Doc, I don't care what you say, ain't no greens without some poke in it. And I said, all right, so just give it a try. She came back and said, you know what? It wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad because it's seasoning.
Way to go.
It's very seasoning, and kelp is very good. It's very good for the thyroid for women. So that pot liquor, you remember the pot liquor, y'all?
Yes.
I'm from the South, boy. I know about the pot liquor.
Wow.
I'm from the South.
Little
Lil Paul.
Paul. That's Little Paul.
You'll be okay.
Lil Paul know about some pot liquor, what else?
You'll be all right.
I won't tell anybody that.
Some sauce and some cracklers.
Crackling.
Okay. I use olive oil in my greens. A tablespoon.
I do. I do put a little bit of oil in them.
And and garlic.
Onion and garlic.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. And then put some of that in there. You're gonna be surprised.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the kelp is gonna surprise you. It's gonna really surprise you.
Very good. Very good.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. We got Lydia.
Lydia C. I had the questions, and I don't know if you want to.
Oh, we got two Lydias in here. Okay.
Lydia C.
Okay, I got you. Okay, Lydia C. Let's Lydia C first.
Somebody, guys, you got
one
at a time. Okay, Lydia, go ahead.
Okay, what does it mean when you have the temperature that ranges between 96.1 and 96.5? What does that mean? It's very low. It's not the regular.
Minerals. That's minerals. You got to build your minerals up. Yep. You got to raise your minerals. You're resonating too low. When you take your temperature, always take your temperature accurately. That's the thyroid test. We talked about the thyroid test, right? Remember, your thyroid is weight, temperature, and pressure issues. Got it? So if you take your thyroid test, it's a 7-day test. And you want to do this to regulate to make sure your body's resonating at the proper temperature. So first thing in the morning is what you do. So take your thermometer, take a pen and pad. Got it? All right, I got it. Take a pen and a pad and your temperature. And what I want you to do is when you wake up first thing in the morning, put that on your nightstand. When you wake up in first thing in the morning, before you get up out of bed, don't even move. Take the covers off you. Don't move. Reach over, grab that thermometer. Take your pressure. Take your temperature, I'm sorry. Take your temperature. Got it? Write it down. Do that for 7 straight days. And on the 7th day, add them all up, divide it by 7. That's your overall temperature right there. If it falls below 92, 94, yep, you got a thyroid issue. We got a temperature problem. That means mineral deficiency also. What you're trying to do is you're trying to make sure that you have a proper resonation. So when you are asleep, you should be able to build enough body heat to regulate close to.
No, it's just some leftover from
close to 98.6. Got it?
So before I even get up, you just say take the temperature before I get up.
That's all you got to do before you get up. Don't get out of bed. Just take the temperature. Do it for 7 straight days. I would do both the left and the right underarm if you can. If you have a thermometer that can go under the arm, that would be even better.
What
Got
is
it?
it? You got the digital. I have the digital.
You can do the digital also. You can do the digital.
The
Okay.
mouth is no good.
Sure, the mouth is good,
On the
but I
tongue.
would, yeah, you can do that, but you're trying to get the temperature of the body in its resting state. So in the resting state, you should be resonating close to 98.6. Got it? That's balanced. That's normal. But
So
if you're
then,
not resonating around 98.6, at least 94.2, somewhere around there, yeah, we got a thyroid issue. We got an imbalance issue. That's mineral. Trace mineral deficiencies. That means you're going to have to start to do things like the sea vegetables, kelp, chlorella, spirulina, things like bladderwrack, nori, things like that, dulse. You need more of those trace minerals that come from out of the ocean. Got it?
okay. Okay. Another question was how
You said add it up, add all those days up and divide by what?
The amount of days that you took it, which is 7. That's the giving. You're giving an average. You're averaging. Right.
how do you travel with herbs? For example, if you're going to X-ray.
You always declare them. Yeah, you got to declare them. You can't take them on the plane. You have to declare them. You declare them in your bag. You can take anything when you declare it.
Dr. Paul, does your green drink have all those things that you said the body needs?
Yeah, most of them. Kelp, chlorella, spirulina. Yep, most of them. Purple. I have purple dulse seaweed and sea moss in mine.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Let me finish.
Okay, Lydia, is that good? Did you get that?
Yeah,
Hey, why don't you take one of those pieces of
Come
jingle?
on, mute yourself. Mute yourself there.
Guys, yeah.
Okay.
You're
Go
saying
ahead.
that when you say declared, that means you let them know so it doesn't go to the X-ray. It just
Right.
goes in the back. You place. Okay.
Well, it doesn't go. It still goes in the X-ray, but you declared it. You let them know that you're taking it with you. You can declare anything. You can, I mean, technically, you can declare guns and
So what I'm saying,
swords and everything else. People who are in. What was that?
Does it interfere with the herbs, the balance of the herbs?
No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't do that. Yeah, you should be fine. Yeah, it doesn't do it long enough. It's just a quick scan. It's going to go through. It shouldn't do too much. Got it.
Okay. Is MSM flakes or crystals the same, and coral calcium powder or the capsules the same?
Okay, the flakes are different. There is MSM and then there's MSM flakes. They come in crystals and then they come in flakes. Flakes is better. That's more closer to the organic sulfur.
Okay, so the flakes are better because you
Flakes
showed
are
me
better.
the crystals, and when I went, they only had the flakes. I said,
No, that's fine. The flakes is good. The flakes is what I recommend.
Okay, what about the coral calcium powder or the capsule?
Either one. The capsules are the powder.
Okay.
That's it. They're just in a different form. They're just putting them in the capsules. Yep.
The other question, when you mentioned metals, when people are getting these knee surgeries because they say you walk around bone on bone. Well, what's the difference when they put the metal in? You're walking around with metal on metal, like a titanium or something like that. What's the difference?
You went out. I didn't hear you. Say that again.
They say you need to get a knee surgery because you're walking around with bone on bone, but then they put metal in you and you're walking around with metal on metal, like is it titanium? So what's the difference?
Hey, it's a doctor that got about $200,000 a knee. That's what the difference is.
Amen. Amen. That's all.
I tell folks before you get the knee surgery, if you go with that, some people have done, it's made them a whole lot better. So, if it's past the point of preventativeness and you got to get it done, you're going to have to get it done because sometimes it gets really bad. The bone on bone, it all comes from inflammation. It comes from eating the wrong food, too much acid, bad food choices, all those things. And that's just the body robbing the calcium and the connective tissue out of the knee. That's what's happening. That's what all inflammation is. It's the body robbing itself because you're not giving it what it's needing. Got it? And it's all just the body attempting to heal itself. That's all it is. That's what inflammation is. But we've never been taught that. We've never been taught that the body is trying to heal itself. It's trying to keep you alive. And yet we still are eating wrong. We still won't put down the foods that are causing the problem when we know That's what it is. It's desires. Go ahead. All right.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
All
you.
right,
Thank
good
you.
night.
All right. And the last one was Lydia, and then I
The
got
other
Troy.
Lydia.
I got Lydia, and then I got Troy. I think Lydia and Troy.
Lydia is still
Lydia,
there?
the other Lydia. Lydia, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi. I have a quick question for you. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, you're
I
absolutely
went to
super
Whole
loud. Ooh,
Lydia, Lydia, is there any way for you to turn your
can you
microphone
turn
down?
your microphone down a little bit?
Lydia, is there any way for you to turn your microphone down a little bit? Maybe. Is that better?
A little bit more.
Yeah, a little
Can
bit
you
more.
hear me?
A little bit more.
Can you hear me?
A little bit more.
And turn it to low.
There you
No, see,
go.
you know what it is? She's trying
Can
to
you
listen
hear
to you
me?
and talk at the
Okay.
same time. That's what it is.
Yeah, you gotta turn your.
This better?
Now you're getting too much feedback there.
Yeah.
Can you put your question in the chat for Bill? Could you do that? Because it's really a lot. I can hardly hear you.
I went to Whole Foods. They told me that
It's her network, Dr. Paul.
It's your network, yeah.
Can you put your question in that for Bill? All right, I'll type it.
Woo, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, real
I
bad.
can't hardly make out what she's saying. Lydia, you're gonna have to mute yourself, okay? Because it's just too much disruption with that line. We'll try to get your question asked though through the chat, okay? Troy, let me get to Troy. I saw Troy waiting over there. Troy, you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Doc?
All right,
Hey, Troy.
Troy. Pleasure, man.
I got two quick questions. The first question is, what is the safe amount of protein per meal to take, like 30 grams, 25 grams, that won't cause harm to your kidneys? And my second question is chromium picolinate safe to take?
Right. The best one to take would be complex. When you're talking about protein, is complex carbohydrates. That would be fruits and vegetables. You can't overdose on them. Those are the safe ones. Got it? There is no level of protein that you can overdose on. The proteins that they're talking about, they're always comparing protein to meat. And that's not the one you want. The one that's always safe, that will always give you the highest protein value, is plant-based protein. Got it? Always plant-based protein. And you can never overdose on it because the body's going to only use it for energy. That's like animals that, they get their energy and their protein from the largest animals are vegetarians. So where do they get their protein? From all the fruits and vegetables that are out here. Got it? Just like we said, if you had a gorilla throw you across the street, where are he getting his protein from?
I know that.
I want that protein.
Yes.
You got it. And what was the other one? You said another question. What was it?
Is chromium picolinate
Yes.
safe to take?
Sure, chromium is good, but remember when you take in supplements, and I had somebody send me something from good friend of mine sent something from Oregon today. She was like, you know what is this thing with supplements? They're trying to see that supplements are not good for people, and I've always said this. Remember, when you isolate, separate, divide anything, you've taken it away from its source. You've now denatured it. You got it? So even in the healthy field of nutraceuticals, when you take something out of its natural source, you've now destroyed it. So instead of taking, the chromium in the form where they isolate it, don't take the isolated, take it when its greatest force and strength, which is the plant itself. One of the highest ones with chromium would be Gymnema, okay? Bilberry, bayberry, huckleberry, elderberry. Those are some of the highest levels of chromium right there. Also bitter melon. That's why they work so well with diabetes. Because remember when we talked about when you get all that concentrated food, right? What happens? You get all that concentration, pancreas says, can't deal with you no more.
That's right.
You getting on my nerves.
I'm out.
Getting on my nerves, I'm shutting it down. and then that's when it shuts down. So the magnesium and chromium help to deal with that, to bring it back. Got it? So that's a better one than the isolated chromium. Got it?
Okay, yeah, because I just bought a plant-based protein. It has like 6 different type of plant-based proteins in it, and I know before it, so you shouldn't take no more than 30 grams. So if I take like 40 or 50 grams of this, I should be okay because it's all plant-based.
Yeah, plant-based is it. That's it. You can't overdose. Just as long as, get it in its natural state as much as you can. You got it? As much as you can in its natural state. Try not to separate, isolate, and divide it, because remember, when you pull it away from its family, it was functioning properly.
Amen.
It needed,
So very true.
so they can't even identify certain ones. So that chromium was not acting on its own. It was acting in a family, a group, an organization of minerals that were in a perfect balance because the plant is alive. But now when you move just that out, now it's no longer with its family. You've just abandoned it. So that's why people say, it's kind of working. Maybe it's not working. It's not quite working because you got to get it from the source. Got it? Get it from the source, y'all. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Big B, I see your finger rolling over there, man.
Yes, sir,
Thank you,
buddy.
Troy. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
I
buddy.
appreciate you, man. And I thank all those that we can't get you, Lydia. Write that to Big B, and maybe I can email it to you, okay? Your question, all right? We want to thank everybody for chiming in. It has truly been a pleasure. Look what time it is. It's 9 o'clock.
That's what
Big
I'm saying.
B, y'all
boy.
kept me again. I tell you, man.
That's right. We're going to get you for all that.
Oh,
I know what. I'm going to put
man.
a timer in here so we can shut you down. No, we're not going to do that.
How about Well, Big B, tell everyone how they can find out to help us and keep this thing going. How about that?
Guys, of course, first, the best thing, what we like for you to do, number one, is to share this message with everybody, okay? And we want you to know how much we really appreciate your continuing to support us here on the Green, listen to the Green Hour, on the Family Tree, right? So we want you to continue to do that, and we'll send you whatever donation that you have to keep the family tree going. I'm going to put it right now into the chat, okay? That's $ capital DR, capital PAUL, capital HOP, okay? That's Dr. Paul Hop with the $ in front, all right? And listen, let me tell you something. Everybody that gets it every week, they know what's up. And guess what? It works. Send the family to the tree, because the more you share with us, the more we can share back with you. How about that? And of course, my email address, meccavideo@gmail.com. Again, that's meccavideo@gmail.com. You get your request into me. Dr. Paul gets me the link. I pull it down, put it together, and bam, it's right in your face. How about that?
All righty, Big B.
Yes, sir, buddy.
I think that's a wrap.
Yes, sir, man.
Hey, family, I want to thank you for tuning in. It has been a pleasure, a privilege. And I want to say, thank you for all the questions. I think you got a lot there tonight. Take that list, check it twice. I think y'all want to jump on that list, right?
Yes, sir.
All of the blood cleansers.
It's all in the chat, guys.
That was a good one. How many did we have? About 30
About
almost?
40.
Was it 30?
Almost
40.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, share that
It's a whole
list with
bunch.
your family. And also it encourages you to look into and maybe ask questions about. Say, let me look at these herbs. And remember, whenever you see something bad about an herb, it's usually because they're not drinking water. Got it? You got to drink your water. If you take those herbs, you must drink water. Got it?
All right.
All right, family. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Hey,
indeed.
we just want to dance it out, y'all. Because you know
As
what? This is
usual.
family.
All right, everybody. That's what's up.
And remember, be encouraged, because if you're breathing,
Y'all got a shot, guys.
you got a shot.
All right.
All right.
God bless everyone. See you again. Oh,
All
you
right.
can see Dr. Paul. Check Dr. Paul out on Saturday with the Dr. Paul Holistic Program on WRD Radio, 900 AM, 96.1 FM. And then catch us on.
Finger
Green
snap,
Hour.
y'all. Finger snap,
Hey,
y'all. Finger
what's up?
snap.
Hey. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. All right now. There we go. There we go. There we go.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
I see you now. All right. It's truly been a pleasure.
As always.
Hey. Thank you, Big B.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Let's give Big B a hand over there. Yay, Big B.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you for your support. God bless y'all, and may God keep y'all is my prayer. All right?
See ya.
Put a little samba in your life.
I know that's all right. Keep me kicking, buddy.
You know you can just do all the exercise right in the chair, Big B.
I know that's right.
Oh, we got a jazz breakdown.
Yes.
Here it come, Big B.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joseph, I see you, man.